Prabhupada felt very comfortable in Bengal and Vrindavan. But all the Shukta and the rubbery and the Misty Doi and Tarankanti Ghosh and Vinod Bhave and the whole history, Rabindranath Tagore, I wanted to do a special tweaking the imagination of Bengali folks talk. But maybe another time.
In either in the maybe the first chapter of your book or in the introduction, I can't remember. You talk very nicely about cooperation and devotee relationships.
Yeah.
Perhaps you could give a little bit of that, what you say there. I thought it should be printed and written on the wall in every ashram. It's very, very nice.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's essential we cooperate and help one another. Because, thank you.
Thank you for the book. I can't wait to start reading it.
How many devotees, how many people in the world are offering prasadam or chanting Hare Krishna? I mean, there's enough separation and divisiveness in the world. We are an alternative. Prabhupada wants us to be an alternative to the, I call this a bright star in the dark age. Prabhupada, a bright star in the dark age. I might entitle that as a chapter, I'm not sure. But we're an alternative. So, if we don't help one another, how can we preach outside? That's the basic of any commune, utopia, anything. Thank you very much. You laughed at the right places. So, Prabhupada always said, if you do something, you do it together because it's still glorious if there's success, but if there's failure, no one is to blame. That was one analogy. The other is the oak tree sees the rose. What a beautiful rose. The rose sees the oak tree. What a strong oak tree. We all have different... Prabhupada said, thank you. Prabhupada said that sometimes there's fighting because we're all individuals. So this is natural. And because of a Chinta Beta Beta Tattva, we're unique relationship with Radha Krishna. We don't want to submerge our talents, we want to use them for Krishna. It would be counterproductive if you're a genius in music and you're not doing it, or whatever, a genius in photography and you're peeling potatoes, which is fine too. The hierarchy is like this, not like this. The administrators have the intelligence to administrate it, but in the devotee hierarchy, they're just as important as everybody else. These folks that are working right now, unsung heroes, people in the kitchen, we're all important. And so we have to help each other like it was with Prabhupada in the family. They said, how did you do this, Gurudas? I wanted to see the Swami smile. That's it. It could have been meeting the biggest George Harrison. Our only plan for England was, thank you, our only plan for England was we got to meet the Beatles. And we believed we could because the Swami, we felt sheltered. We felt, here's something that Radha Krishna are looking over us. We can go meet the Beatles. What's the big thing? If we want to. That was our only plan. And then Krishna paved the way. And he paved the way, and he paved the way, and he paved the way, preventing me from death and bringing me to Vrindavan, where I only wanted to go. And seeing children grow up, and seeing old friends, and seeing now a wonderful festival like this when it first started with a germ. And those were the days, the second festival, it's life, what can I say? Someone dosed the Kool-Aid with acid, LSD. And Jamun and I were the devotees that took it, and we alerted the other devotees. But Prabhupada said, "Where's Jamun and Gurdas?" And they said, "Well, they're resting or whatever." But so the festivals has changed in flavor, but it still goes on. It still goes on. So we have to help each other. It's very important because this is our family. And, you know, the analogy of the one arrow or the one stick, and then you can break it easily, and then together it's hard to break, or the bird that goes away from the flock is the one that's predated. They took us to the Bengal, in the Sundarban, they took us to the Bengal tigers, and the last guy had a mask on the back of his head because the tigers would take the last person. So if you go away from the family, you'll be predated on, and that's why we want devotee association as much as possible. And now we have the internet. Before we had that, this whole movement grew. Before emails, the Back to Godhood was mimeographed. I said to Prabhupada, we should have a telex in every temple because then we can communicate. And Prabhupada said, they will just gossip on the telex. He was very funny. Later on,
He was right.
yeah, he was right. No, Sam Rashinda later on, in London, Sam Rashinda says to Prabhupada, it's right under his room. Should I stop hammering? We slowed it down. Should I stop hammering because it may disturb you? So Sam Rashinda, Prabhupada says to him, no. When I hear you're hammering, I know you're working. Very intelligent. It reminds me of the Pope that said, they said, how many people are working in the Vatican? And he said, half of them. That's the way Prabhupada was always clever like that. But first and foremost, he wanted us to, he said to Ramaswar, he said, book distribution is important, but first and foremost, we must take care of ourselves. So the tendency sometimes is for devotees to be artificially humble, or maybe doing something that submerges their individuality too much. No, Krishna wants your individuality. It doesn't mean you're a bad devotee. The first stage is the rules and regulations, and then once you've got that, there's the spontaneous stage. Prabhupada told me that, and then I got the whole thing. And then the spontaneous stage is so nice. The rules and regulations don't even matter anymore. They just become a part of you. And the compassion. The first thing that I saw that Prabhupada was my guru, we're walking by some ducks in the morning, and some arrogant devotee even back then says, get up, you ducks, and they're going, and waking up and taking their wings, and Prabhupada says, as you are thinking they are disturbing us, they are thinking we are disturbing them. And so he can see into the heart of every living entity. He's my guru. So we have to see into the heart of every living entity, especially our God brothers and sisters. It's essential. And if we're attractive and innovative, we'll attract so many people. There's so many possibilities. Rebuilding, music. Go see Fats Domino. He's a big icon in town. That may seem strange, but going to see Mick Jagger and getting a slab of marble for the altar is strange, Use your imagination for Krishna. Then it's ever fresh, Nava Yovana. Thank you.
Nice.